So war is dumb and stupid. I think we can all agree on that. It never ends good, it doesn't benefit anyone, and it has never produced anything good in this world. Besides anime. And Godzilla. And the cell phone, but besides that, nothing good has ever come from war. However, sometimes war can be funny haha. But funny haha because of the reasoning and the nature, not the actual war. War isn't funny. This story takes us to Mexico City 1828, where French chef Remontel asked the Mexican government to pay for the damages done to his pastry shop by the illegal mob. His request, however, got flat out ignored. So he then asked his home country of France to help, which everyone just forgot about. Except probably Remontal. However, 10 years later, the then King Louis Philippe of France found this request and demanded that the Mexican government pay for Remontal's damages with 90% interest. When they refused, the French blockaded Mexico and occupied the city of Veracruz. The saddest part of the Pastry War is that no one actually cared. Besides probably Remontal, the Mexican general Antonio Lepos de Santa. Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Yo, that took too much power. That general came out of retirement just to fight the French, but he couldn't really do much. The French then stayed in Veracruz until the Mexican government agreed to pay. The Mexicans eventually agreed to pay, but the moment the French left, the government just, didn't pay. The French then decided to re-invade the city in 1861, but the French Empire eventually fell and everybody forgot about the Pastry War. Except probably Remontal. In 1731, a British trader named Robert Jenkins was stopped by the Spanish, who ended up seizing his entire cargo and cut off his ear just for good measure. I have no idea what that had to do with anything, but it's the same nation that spawned Blackbeard, so sure, I guess, cool beans. Fast forward 8 years, and the British were looking for a way to get the Spaniards out of the Caribbean and South America. So the Europeans did what the Europeans do best. Wage war with each other. This war at sea led to 25,000 deaths and 5,000 shipwrecks. And you know what they say the reasoning was? The ear. The reasoning for the entire war was the ear. Damn it, I love propaganda. The sad part is the majority of the body count wasn't even due to the war. It was actually due to disease breaking out. The British, in fact, lost every single offensive due to them getting sick from the Spanish tropical diseases. Ah, the Spanish, giving their diseases to wipe out an entire group of people. Surely they never did this again, right? Right? Sadly, everyone forgot about Jenkins Ear when the War of Austrian Succession began, when the British, surprise surprise, fought the Spanish and the French for who would rule over Germans in Austria. Gotta love Europeans! Gotta love Europeans, The War of the Oaken Bucket happened in 1325 between the Italian cities Bologna and Modena. This war led to the passing of 2,000 people and was a proxy war between the Holy Roman Empire and the papacy. I promise I can speak! The Holy Roman Empire and the papacy. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce this group of people in Bologna and this other group of people in Modena were at each other's throats for 3 centuries, but the tensions reached a newfound peak over a bucket. In 1325, the Modenese allegedly stole a bucket from a well in Bologna, which the Modenese took as a trophy of war. This eventually started another war, which Modena won again. So they managed to keep the bucket, but what makes the battle even more embarrassing is that Bologna had 32,000 soldiers fighting in this war, whereas Modena brought only 7,000. After Bologna's defeat, Modena chased the Bolognese, After Bologna's defeat, Modena chased the the people from Bologna from the battlefield. I promise I can speak! I swear, if I mispronounce or struggle to pronounce one more name, I will throw a tantrum. The Kettle War of 1784 was a brief and unusual conflict between the Dutch Republic and the Holy Roman Empire. It stemmed from a long-standing dispute over the Scheldt River. I got it on second try, boys! The Dutch had closed the Scheldt River since 1585, crippling the trade in the southern provinces, now Belgium and Luxembourg. That's right, kids, the Europeans are back at it again. Gotta love the Europeans. In an attempt to reopen the river, Emperor Joseph II of the Holy Roman Empire sent ships down the Scheldt, but they were intercepted by a single Dutch ship, the Dauphin. During the encounter, only one shot was fired, hitting a soup kettle on the imperial ship Le Louis, prompting its surrender. Furious, Joseph II declared war and occupied part of the Dutch territory, causing flooding and casualties. The conflict ended quickly with negotiations. The Dutch kept control over the river but paid compensation. However, in 1792, control shifted to the French and the river was reopened to commerce because, of course, capitalism! Ah, the Pig War. This is a war that could have turned into a much larger conflict. San Juan Island, located between the United States and Canada's Vancouver Island, was owned by American settlers and the British employees of the Hudson Bay Company. In practice, the island was divided in two, with both countries having claims to the northwestern island, and those claims created a lot of tension in the region. The tension escalated in June of 1859, when an American farmer shot a British wild boar for destroying its potato crop. An argument broke out and the farmer was almost captured by the British. The US Army became aware of the situation and sent Captain George Pickett with a group of soldiers who immediately declared the island American. Of course, England responded by sending its best military unit, the Royal Navy. And for weeks, it looked like the stalemate would spark into like a larger war between the two camps. But a deal was eventually reached and both sides took joint control of the island over a pig. Okay, this is one of my favorite wars to talk about actually. The Wild Dog War, or also called the Incident at Petrich, was a war that was exactly as the name suggests. Except it resulted in massive deaths from the Battle of 1925, which pitted 20,000 Greeks against 10,000 Bulgarians on the battlefield. The Europeans are back at it again, boys! This all started when a wild dog escaped from a Greek soldier. The soldier ended up chasing this dog all the way across the Bulgarian border. The Bulgarian guards at the border saw the Greek soldier essentially storm their territory and shot him accordingly, which it makes sense. As payback, the Greeks then decided to actually invade Bulgaria, occupying towns at the border and preparing to just straight up capture the city of Petrich. This war only stopped when the League of Nations intervened and negotiated a ceasefire that ended up ending the war. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why I am a cat person. In the year 1900, the United Kingdom fought a war with the Ashanti Empire in present-day Ghana over the golden stool, a sacred symbol of Ashanti power. After occupying the region in 1896 and suppressing a 1900 uprising, the British annexed the Ashanti territory and exiled its king. British Ambassador Sir Frederick Hodgson demanded to sit on the golden stool as a sign of authority. But the Ashanti refused and hid it, sparking the War of the Golden Stool. It's important to remember that the Ashanti people viewed this stool as sacred. According to legend, an Ashanti king was walking through the forest one day when he stumbled upon the stool in a bush, which was said to have been dropped by the gods as a divine gift. This conflict lasted from March to September 1900, resulting in over 1,000 British and more than 2,000 Ashanti deaths. Despite the fighting, the stool remained hidden. It was actually found in 1921 accidentally by road workers who stripped some of its gold. The Ashanti wanted them executed, but the British intervened, opting for banishment instead. The stool was then returned to the Ashanti, and the British returned all their other stolen treasures. Right? In 1835, Ohio and the Michigan Territory nearly went to war over the Toledo Strip, a valuable piece of land that included the city of Toledo. It also included the Maumee River and a lot of fertile farmland. Due to unclear borders, both claimed the area. Tensions peaked between the two states when Michigan applied for statehood, including the disputed land in its proposal, which angered Ohio. Both sides passed laws asserting control and sent militias to the region, but no actual battle occurred. Just some taunting and one missed volley of shots, but the only injury was a single stabbing during a minor skirmish. And to resolve the conflict, Congress brokered a deal in 1836. Ohio got the Toledo Strip and Michigan received most of the Upper Peninsula. Though Michigan initially felt short-handed, the mineral-rich Upper Peninsula proved to be a very valuable gain, making this bloodless standoff one of the oddest proxy wars in US history. It's like a cold war between two states. I don't know how to feel about that. At least it's not the freaking Europeans again this time. If you follow literally any history YouTuber or TikToker, you have without a doubt heard of the Emu War. Also known as the Great Emu War, the Emu War was a military operation in Australia in late 1931 in an attempt to take care of the growing concern of emus from the public, specifically in Western Australia. Australian farmers consistently reported crop destruction by the large number of emus, which led to the deployment of soldiers with machine guns to cull the birds. Sadly, this wasn't enough. The purge operation was extremely unsuccessful due to the resilience of the emus and their ability to evade the soldiers. The Australians don't count as Europeans. They're like, if Europe is Sheen, Australia's Timu. I don't know how I feel about that. There are many other dumb wars to happen in the history of mankind, even though personally I believe all war is dumb, but hey, that's just me, I guess, kind of. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, link to my Twitter and my TikTok is in the bio, check it out. Bio, I mean description. I still don't know how to do a conclusion. All the shorts I post on YouTube are posted on TikTok as well, like a day or two earlier. So do with that information what you want. Have a good one. Bye, Felicia. I need to learn how to. I need to get a proper conclusion. I need an outro. I need to learn how to do YouTube outros.